Tensions are escalating between NATO and Russia over a military buildup at the Ukrainian border. High-stakes talks in Europe ended in an impasse last week after NATO rejected several of Russia's demands, including a promise that Ukraine never be allowed to join the alliance. Moscow hasn't made any recent moves to pull back its troops from the border, and the U.S. also accused Russia of deploying operatives to Ukraine to carry out acts of sabotage in a false flag operation as a pretext for a possible invasion, a claim which Moscow has denied. So let's head over to Mary Ilyushina. She is following all of this from Moscow for us. Thanks for joining us again this morning for us. A delegation of U.S. senators is set to visit Ukraine this week, and we also have it confirmed that the CIA director was there last week. What can you tell us about these meetings?
Good morning. Yeah, the U.S. delegation is currently in Kiev meeting with President Zelensky and Ukrainian officials in basically a public show of support. You know, they've promised in meetings to Ukrainian officials that they will provide Ukraine with lethal weapons if needed. They're very alarmed by this Russian massing of troops nearby. And they also promised solidarity with Ukraine. You know, I'm going to read one of the senators said that we will give the people of Ukraine the arms, lethal arms, if they need to defend their lives and livelihoods. And they've described that if Vladimir Putin decides to invade Ukraine, he will be making a big mistake, one of the biggest mistakes in his career, one of the senators said. And we also know that the confirmation just came that U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is also coming to Kiev this week. So U.S. is definitely taking a lot of steps to show this public support to Ukraine.
So Russian forces and equipment have begun arriving in Belarus near Poland and Lithuania along the Ukrainian border, which could prove another pathway for an invasion. For a country that says they have no interest in invading Ukraine, surely is a curious move to make. Is Russia explaining why troops are being moved there? And just how does this change the situation?
Yeah, Russia and Belarus have explained this exercise as this check of their readiness of their forces to protect the Union state. This is how they call their sort of this joint state and union that they've created. And they're saying that, you know, this is a response to various foreign threats and possible terrorist threats. And the way they sort of announce these drills is quite interesting because President Lukashenko said that he is being concerned about Ukrainian buildup near his border. So this is sort of an answer to that as well. And the drills are expected to take place in mid-February near Polish and Lithuanian borders, which is obviously concerning to the EU because it's happening right on their doorstep. And it's one of the biggest joint drills that Russia and Ukraine have staged so far. We know that for the first time, military troops, Russian troops from Eastern military district are taking part. So obviously, they present it as self-defense and training, but optically, from an optics point of view, it's obviously very alarming, given everything that has been going on with Ukraine.
So in the past, Western nations have offered or pledged sort of defensive support to Ukraine. And the UK has announced that it's sending some troops and some anti-tank missiles to Ukraine. Is this sort of the gist of the type of support that Western nations are offering Ukraine in the middle of this escalation?
Yeah, it seems like the countries are definitely stepping up. What they're willing to give Ukraine this current standoff. We know the UK has made a pledge in 2014 to help Ukraine rebuild its navy, so it has, at least a chance against massive Russian navy that is also deployed in the Black Sea. And now we know that they are willing to send more troops to help Ukrainian soldiers train and use anti-tank missiles, and possibly provide some other arms. We know that even Canada sent a small deployment of troops to Ukraine, and obviously U.S. has been the main backer of Ukraine since 2014, and we're seeing that they will be willing to not only sanction Russia if it decides to invade, but also provide lethal weapons and other equipment to Ukraine to help them fight. It's looks like unlikely so far that any of the troops Western troops will be taking part in any combat operations. So the support seems to be right now is sending hardware and personnel and helping with expertise.
Yeah, Canada has a pretty significant and vocal Ukrainian population, part of the reason why they jumped into this. Germany's new foreign minister is meeting with her Russian counterpart in Moscow today. Germany would have an economic advantage if the Nord Stream 2 pipeline from Russia to Germany is approved. So how do you see Germany playing into these negotiations?
For Russia, Germany is probably the main sort of voice in Europe. It's obviously a powerful EU country that has a lot of close economic ties to Russia. So whatever Germany says will have some value in Moscow and the Kremlin. We know that Annalena Baerbock, who just came to Moscow after Kiev, she assured Ukrainian officials that Germany will take a stance against Russian aggressive action should any happen, and that they will not compromise Ukrainian rights and sort of livelihoods over gas pipes. So there have definitely been some reassuring words from Germany coming in. And today, we know that she's meeting her Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, and the talks will largely circle around Ukraine. So Germany might become a very important voice in this conversation.
All right, Mary, thank you very much. The TSA reports a serious spike in people packing guns at airports nationwide. Errol Barnes